Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to a new video. There is no intro, so don't ask. So I've been seeing a lot of ads recently for HelloFresh. I mean, if you spend any time on YouTube at all, you're going to notice these ads, they pop up that are similar. You'll see them for like Raid Shadow Legends and HelloFresh and VPN companies like ExpressVPN and what's the fucking other one? NordVPN. You see them a lot. They work with our creators. And it got me thinking that, I like to eat. I mean, we all like to eat, right? I mean, I don't think that's just a me thing. So I wanted to give it a shot. And throughout this video, that's what we did. We signed up for HelloFresh, and now I'm doing a HelloFresh review. So let's just jump right into it. So once they shipped us all our meals on Sunday, we decided the first one we were going to go with was our creamy lemon butter chicken with Parmesan zucchini rounds and scallion couscous, which I've never had couscous before, so we're going to give it a shot. We laid out our cutlets here, laid out our zucchini, and it is at this point you start to notice how convenient this whole thing actually is. You also notice that it does kind of generate a lot of waste. So here I am showing some of the plastic containers, and it's nice that they ship some of the stuff in these paper bags that can be recyclable, but a lot of it comes in this single-use plastic. I was under the impression when I signed up for the whole thing that this was going to be relatively eco-friendly, and once we got all of our shipments, I noticed that there was a lot of plastic waste that started to pile up. But moving on, you can see me, I'm extracting our chicken cutlet here, and I was actually really impressed at the quality of the chicken. The quality of everything basically is very high. I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was, but I was very impressed. It was equal to store quality, and these cutlets were actually better than any chicken I had had in a while. Mine was a little tough, but we had 2 chicken meals this round, and my other one was perfect, and we had no complaints. So the quality overall was very impressive. Cooking this first meal went really well. We had no timing issues. We got the zucchini baked. We got the couscous in. Like I said, it was my first time ever doing that. It was surprisingly easy. I have a little bit of experience in the kitchen. I've never worked in like a restaurant or anything like that, but I've liked to cook for a while. So following the instructions was very, very simple. You get the feel for everything. Everything cooks super easily. I mean, look at this. This meal was really awesome. I think we nailed the execution. I'd give it a strong 9 out of 10. I definitely recommend this if you're going to try HelloFresh. Our second meal was a little bit different of an experience, but it was also relatively easy. The instructions, like I said, are printed very clearly and easy to follow. You even get little pictures and everything. So this next one was a pork dish. It was our pork katsu with sesame roasted carrots and ginger rice. So they want you to cut your carrots up like this. You're going to bake them like we baked the zucchini in the last round. I made a small mistake and accidentally froze all of our pork, so I spent some time defrosting it before we were able to cook it on this one. Nope.
Keep it on?
Yes. It's got a thaw. But other than that, this was also very simple. You get your measured out ingredients. We got your panko here. Our rice is half a cup. You can see there we got our katsu sauce. Everything is laid out, and once again, this is all very convenient, but this is all single-use plastic, so that was a bit of a bummer. Now for this one, we ended up screwing up the timing a little bit, which was kind of a mistake on my part. We chopped the carrots and we put them in first, which is a bit of a rookie move because the pork was still thawing back there in the sink. So while the carrots are going to cook up just fine within about 15 or 18 minutes, our pork is still basically frozen, and it's going to take even more time to cook. If you end up taking a crack at the pork katsu dish from HelloFresh, I recommend that you get your protein on first. Usually in the kitchen, they want you to get your protein on first anyway, because a lot of times your protein is what takes the longest to cook. But we got our carrots done first, so they ended up just sitting on the counter and getting a little cold. A lot of this meal time was spent me just standing by the stove top, waiting for the pork to cook. And for me specifically, cooking pork is kind of nerve rattling. I have some experience in the past where I cooked pork a little too under, and I gave myself and a friend food poisoning. So I was very careful to keep an eye on it this time because I did not want to poison my family. You should never want to poison your family. If you think about poisoning your family, don't. The rest of this meal was very easy though. The carrots cooked up just fine. If we hadn't messed up the timing, I'm sure they would have been great. They kind of hardened into little carrot chips. I don't know if you've ever had those banana chips from the grocery store, but it was sort of reminiscent of that texture. But like I said before, the pork is what took the most time. I wanted to be very careful with it to make sure I cooked it to the right temperature, but I also didn't want to dry it out because I'd had my family waiting for a long time. You can see my mom getting a little restless in the background there. Dinner was coming up, but they were all just sort of waiting on me to get this finished. Another thing I noticed about the HelloFresh meals are the portion sizes. I believe they ship with what is supposed to be a proper portion size, but it was a little bit small for my liking. I'm not the biggest guy out there, but throughout this week I noticed that after eating dinner from HelloFresh, I would get hungry again a couple hours later. So the portion sizes were just a little bit small for my liking, but that didn't mess with the quality of the food. It was all very high quality stuff. Overall, this dish was very good. We prepared it okay. We could have done a little bit better job, but I would say this one is a solid 8 out of 10. I would definitely recommend trying this. For our third dish, we ended up going with a caprese salad with arugula. This whole thing was a mistake. What I figured out quickly about HelloFresh is this whole thing is quite expensive. They do these sort of promotions where they offer you $60 off, $70 off, $80 off. And that is the reason we did this whole thing in the first place. We wanted to try it out, save a little bit of money, and do something new. But they spread that promotion out over a period of months, so the actual discount doesn't really hit as well as you'd hope it would. We picked the caprese salad for our third meal because it sounded kind of interesting, but knowing now how expensive the whole experience is, if you're just going to give this a shot for the first 3 meals, I would recommend getting something more elaborate, something that you don't already know how to do yourself. We signed up with HelloFresh for a discount of $70, and they spread the discount over a period of 6 weeks, I think. So the first week we got like $30 off, and then it tapers from there to $20 and then $10 and $10. So my credit card was billed for I think like $80 or something like that, which is fine, but it would actually be closer to $100 on a normal week. And $100 for 3 meals is not really that great of a deal. After noticing they taper the discount like this, we went ahead and canceled immediately. But the whole experience overall, even though it is a little bit too expensive for me to subscribe to permanently, it was very pleasant and it was very high quality. All of the food was surprisingly fresh. All of it was very high quality, very good stuff. It all tasted amazing. But it comes out to like $400 a month or something like that. And that's a lot of money. So it was a really fun exercise to try something new and help you get creative in the kitchen. So for anybody interested in something like that, but you're not sure where to start, if you can pick up a promotion for one of these, it's a really good way to just get your feet wet, get in the kitchen, do something new, and you don't have to be too afraid of wasting any food or anything like that. It's very user-friendly, very beginner-friendly, and we had an overall very great time with the experience. But, like I said before, if you're going to give HelloFresh a try like me, don't do a salad. You can do a salad on your own, do something more adventurous. This meal was fine. Give it a 7.5 out of 10. So over this experience, I noticed a couple things that stood out to me about HelloFresh. I'm not sponsored by anything. I'm not sponsored by them or anything, so I have no ties whatsoever to this company. But if I was to say 3 things that stood out to me were the plastic waste, the price, and the instructions. So I was under the impression that HelloFresh was relatively eco-friendly, and I don't know if that was just a misinterpretation on my end, but there was a lot of single-use plastic. So the silverware came in single-use plastic. All the sauces was single-use. It stacks up. And the single-use plastic, it is what eventually works its way into the ocean and creates microplastics. I mean, plastic is bad. We all know plastic is bad. But if they claim to ship everything so fresh, it doesn't make sense to me why they have to use so much plastic. I used to work at a grocery store, and we package all our meat in butcher paper. It still takes a little bit of time to biodegrade, but it's faster than plastic. So if they're going to be shipping these things fresh, I think it would be better if they would package other things in paper or make some sort of wax paper packaging for their sauces and things like that. Another thing I noticed was the price. I mean, I'm an okay, well-off guy. My job pays me pretty well, but this was not as cheap as I was hoping it would be. We signed up using one of those promo codes, the big ones that they do. It looks like $60 off, $70 off, whatever. But the way that they spread out the discount is really strange. So over a span of the month, the total price of your package comes out to about $400, almost $500, I think. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong. But it seems like a lot of money for 3 meals a month. I mean, we just ordered and then canceled immediately because it projected to be a little bit more expensive than I was willing to spend. But I feel like the way they advertise with these big discounts is a little misleading. So if you're going to try out HelloFresh, just be aware of that. And another thing I noticed was the instructions. They say that they're really easy to understand, but they do get a little bit confusing. The issues I had specifically are with the steps within the steps. So you'll notice if you look at the actual step-by-step instructions, each of these 4 panels, some of the steps have other steps inside of them. And they separate them by bullet point. And sometimes with the more complicated sauces and things like that, they can get a little confusing. But we were able to navigate that. I mean, I have a little bit of experience in the kitchen, so I wasn't super worried. But I felt like that could be done a little bit better. Maybe they can use more bold print or underline print, or even like color code the print per step. These are just little things, but I think there is improvement to be made to make HelloFresh a more well-rounded option for like a meal service. But overall, guys, HelloFresh was a really good experience. It's really fun to get creative with new food in the kitchen. So I would say if you want to give this a shot, HelloFresh is a really good option. You should go for it if you want to. It was really fun to just get creative in the kitchen, but to have some sort of direction. A lot of times when I try to do a new recipe, I just get overwhelmed because there's so much food out there, you know what I mean? I would say I would give the experience overall an 8.5 out of 10. It was great. If you're thinking about it, go ahead and give HelloFresh a try. I've got another couple videos coming up. Thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it.